Welcome back to 10 Tenths Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Grail, sitting in the Kanga Motorsports studio, and across from me is my co-host, Adam Nilsson, who is on his phone because he always is.
Checking the radar, Robbie.
We don't care. And then
I do.
And then across from... if it snows, we can have a slumber party, and we'll do like 6 podcasts.
Katie would be so pissed at me.
That'd be the best. That's good content.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And across from me on the computer screen is the Iowaman himself, Dalton Klein.
He's frozen.
No, he was just
guys.
He was waiting to open that beer.
My bad. Tall boys.
What are you drinking?
Cheap stones. Since I'm out of free stones.
You're out of Freestones?
He's been out of Freestones.
I made a negotiation on 54 12 packs of 24-ounce Keystones at the local liquor store.
Are they all expired?
Yeah, they have been for months. Born on date July 1822.
Oh, July. That was 6 months.
That's born on date.
That's 6 months.
Date.
6 months for.
How long are you supposed to? I mean,
isn't it only like 3 or 4 months? I don't know. I don't drink.
Is it longer if you keep it cool?
I don't know.
You didn't keep them cool though, did you? They're in their garage.
No, they're in my entryway, like an adult.
So they were room temperature for the last 4 months.
Oh, was I supposed to give you pictures?
We saved them already because we've been waiting for like 3 hours, dude.
It's true.
Oh, I was going to give you Dana's. Thanks, Dana, for taking pictures this weekend.
If you posted it to the group chat, we already got it.
Oh, no, he has a whole...
he took 420 photos.
Blaze it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a real round number. No, whatever you post in the group's good enough because this is a podcast and a video, but we don't need all of it. So
fuck it.
We need everything.
Well, we can share the photos in the group later. How about that?
All right, that'll work. You aren't going to go back and edit it, so it doesn't matter.
No.
We should probably talk about what he's talking about because he's.
What are we talking about?
We're being relatively vague.
Yeah, that's how you reel them in. It's called fishing, Adam. You reel them in.
No, this is just
got all their
confusing.
interest and they're listening longer and longer.
It's just
he told them right up front
confusing,
that I went ice racing with a Corvette last weekend. Then everyone being out. We know everything we need to know. We're out of here.
No.
Click, sign off.
No, because everyone knows that when Dalton's involved, there's a story coming.
This is pretty minor as involved stories go, I think.
I mean, yeah.
Minor-ish.
But it's still hilarious. Every time I see that video, I giggle out loud.
Yep.
It's like 10,500 views now or something silly. Which is just dumb.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But we'll get there.
I didn't even think it was that good a
So let's talk
more.
about beforehand because this is an interesting process to me.
10.8.
You studded a set of, what were they, RS4s?
Wait, so
no, these are my rival S1.5s.
So some 200 treads, because when you think of good snow tire performance,
I feel like we skipped an entire step here.
did we?
Yeah. Why the fuck?
Open it up, Adam.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why is he studying his old Corvette tires? Like, where did this come from?
You're talking that story.
Did the plan? So wait. Did the plan to do the ice racing thing come before or after what we will refer to from here on out as the bet?
Not the con.
Well, I mean, it did turn out to be a con.
con.
Yeah, I'm good with con.
I'm good
con.
with this.
Yeah. So did that come before or after the con? Weren't you planning on doing this already? And then E-Man thought you weren't going to actually do it?
I think people overestimate how much I care about my cars.
I also think that people underestimate how often you actually follow through on a thing you say you're going to do. You're relatively good about it, honestly.
I will spend
way better than me. How many times have I said I'm gonna fix the Omni, and it's still fucking broken in my driveway?
You've done it a few times.
That's what you're telling us. It might
because of the podcast. I am very cognizant of the things I say I'm going to do.
Oh, I just don't give a fuck.
And then I prefer to tell you what I did after the fact. I hate telling you what I'm going to do.
Oh, I don't care.
Anyone that's listened to the show long enough will know, like, yeah, he does that. I'll tell you what I've done months ago, but I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do this weekend.
Nah. So anyway, you decided you were going to take this ice racing.
Yes, at some point.
Partially because E-Man said you wouldn't, and then made a bet.
It kind of started at the end of last year where I thought it'd be kind of cool. And last winter, I guess, not last year. Seeing Ryan going out and have fun shenanigans with his Wisconsin friends that do ice racing every weekend they can, it seems like.
Yeah.
And I told myself I was going to do that, but I don't think so. Me and E-Man later on this year, before I really started working on making the Corvette ice raceable, and I mentioned it, made a bet that I will ice race a Corvette on studs before he takes his Datsun on a track that has a...
What Datsun does he own?
He stopped to think about it for a second, and then he decided he wasn't going to say it.
What kind of Datsun does he own?
I saw that look on his face.
The non-running kind.
What kind of Datsun is it?
Here's a cheat code right there on the wall.
That's not a cheat code.
That's
the
not
240 and the 280 look the same.
So which one is it?
Just like the 350 and the 370 are the same car.
And the 400.
And the 400.
And the 400.
No, it's not even 400. It's the Z. Like, they don't even call it that. But he doesn't have a 240. It's a 2...
I don't know, Dalton. What is it?
It's a 240, isn't it?
I thought it was a 260 or 280.
240. I'm pretty sure
it's not a 280.
I'm pretty sure it's a 280.
I think it's a 280. I don't care enough to really know, but
I kind of want to be wrong.
I'm 100% positive it's a 240.
All right, let's vote. Let's vote.
No, I'm good with that. 240. Yeah, definitely a 240.
It's a 240.
I'm pretty sure it's a 280.
I think it's a 260.
All right, there you go.
Do you really think it's a 260? Or are we that?
No, Robbie just can't agree with me.
I refuse to agree with you guys.
Oh, okay.
One of us is right, though.
If you look at the wall on the video on our YouTube channel, that's his car. That Datsun right there.
It could be
that Zach Carroll painted and gave to me as a great gift.
The thing about it is those three cars look exactly the same from the side.
I'll be honest. I love Datsuns. The problem is I like them all, but I really don't know the difference between a 240 and a 280 for sure.
I think if you set them all next to each other debadged, I could tell you which three they are. But if you ask me to give you differences without having them in front of me, I couldn't do that.
No. Anytime I see a Datsun from 1976 or that time frame on Marketplace,
I'm 240.
I want that. I don't care. I like that car.
To me, they're either 240s or 300s. There's nothing in between. They're all 240s or they're 300s.
That's fair. All right. So Dalton, you kind of mentioned in passing that you were going to do it. E-Man's Datsun has been broken for as long as we know. No,
that's not true. It's been running. It's ran since we've been friends with him.
In recent times, that Datsun has a blown-up engine.
It's been down for probably the better part of 2 years.
Yes, and the running joke in the
not throwing shade here, just whatever.
It's been at least 2 years because when he came with a Volvo to my house, the Datsun was not running.
It's probably not been running as long as you have been friends with him because you have known him less time than we have.
2 years November
because you guys met him at NOLA.
Correct.
All right, so the plan is to have Dalton to have E-Man on the show to do a rebuttal next week because he's supposed to be here in Des Moines
in person. That'll be fun.
So he can clarify all of these.
What?
The 25th? You're saying?
No, the weekend before that.
There's 2 weeks before.
That's this weekend.
No,
it is not.
You don't know.
You guys are sadly mistaken. Next weekend is my garage party, which
well then maybe
next Saturday, everyone. The week after this podcast comes out.
Aren't we supposed to be in Detroit?
Are we going to Detroit?
No, there's no way.
I was going to say I haven't taken time off.
No, we can't. It just doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Next weekend.
All right. Well, then maybe
after this podcast comes out.
Yeah.
Party at my house.
All right.
Google Iowaman Racing.
Everybody's invited. Yeah. Just Google Iowaman Racing and you'll get the address.
Open invite next weekend. Iowaman Racing.
Saturday night until
there's
Sunday
morning. Is there still going to be a band?
There's 2 bands, yes.
All right, well, now I'm way in.
There's 2. Danny's one of them, I assume?
Danny's one of them, and then More Cheese out of Des Moines.
More Cheese?
More Cheese. I don't know that band. I listened to a couple of songs, and they're about as punk gets, and so is Danny. So
yeah.
I'm probably going to irritate a lot of people, but I'll like it.
Yeah, but your neighbors aren't going to call the cops because that would put too many eyes on them, too, and their illegal activities.
Yeah. I'm paying for them to live. They can't afford it. We don't need to dig into that further. But
All right, so E-Man's RB25 swapped Datsun. He blew up the engine while casually driving onto the interstate.
Allegedly.
And he spun a bearing.
Yeah. Which happens, right, Robbie? Happens to the best of us.
Mine was on track. And I had the wrong oil. So that's my fault.
Yeah, we found out that was just as well been piss water.
Yeah. I would have been better off not putting any oil.
I mean, you could have used the cheap stones that Dalton's got as oil and you'd have been all right.
Yep. Anyways,
save money.
Yep. Yeah, so he spun a bearing, and as far as we knew, that car's been unfixed. He's been waiting on parts because he'll tell you, in this day and age with the internet, you can get these
parts are overnight shipping away, Robbie.
Prevalent.
It doesn't matter where the engine was manufactured and sold. Parts are overnight shipping away, no matter what engine you buy.
I know SR20, RB26, RB25. It doesn't matter.
Ford Barra motors. It doesn't matter. Robbie.
I have proven that you can get obscure oil gutters for transmissions that they don't make in America anymore, and you can get overnighted from Japan.
You didn't get yours overnighted?
No, I waited like 3 days. It was shockingly fast.
Oh, really?
Yes.
God damn, that's crazy.
And it was like $11, whereas it was $90 here in Des Moines. 3 months later. 2 months later. But anyway, so the Datsun's been down as far as we know.
Yeah.
And so almost every day we post in the group chat, where's Datsun?
Right.
And he never says anything.
Because he has an absurd number of project cars.
He has
at least 12.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of ADD, so they're all well on their way, but
allegedly,
supposedly,
but
none of them are done. So we always give him shit that the car's not done. So Dalton makes the comment that he's going to do ice racing with studded tires with his Track Mod Corvette with a sequential. And that leads to a bet. The bet.
Yeah, which was a terribly placed bet.
For E-Man.
Yeah.
Kind of for both of them.
Yeah, it was not great.
It was not well planned out. There was not any real, truly set consequences to said bet.
Or parameters.
Yes,
there was not enough parameters set to said bet. There were too many. There were too many loopholes.
Yep. So
if you were a decent human being and not E-Man,
well, yeah, but
anyone.
We're talking about us here. None of us are decent human beings.
I feel like I could have made the bet with if you're a decent human being, that bet had enough parameters to make sense to everyone.
Yeah, and I tried to clarify it in the group chat. I even offered to be the bet commissioner.
I feel like you were not unbiased enough to be the bet commissioner.
I was.
You were getting side messages.
Turns out I was being a pawn.
Well, you were a pawn, yes. I feel like the only person in our little group chat, which we probably should stop referring to because 3/4 of the people listening to this or more
are in the group chat.
Are not in the group chat. But I feel like the only person who's really, truly qualified, unbiased, would have been Jabe. Or maybe, I feel like Dusty could have done it.
Dusty could have done it.
Dusty probably could.
I wouldn't have chose me if I were E-Man.
I think Dusty would have been
if I was assigned to be unbiased, I would have been.
Right, but I still don't know that I would ask. If I was E-Man, I would be unbiased, don't get me wrong. But if I was E-Man, I wouldn't ask me.
Yeah.
Because I throw a lot of shade E-Man's way.
Fair.
And like if I were Dalton, I wouldn't ask you.
What? He messages me directly for things.
Yeah, and?
Sometimes.
Because I'm reliable.
I still would.
He is reliable.
But you could be reliable and biased, Robbie.
He would have thrown me under the bus. He wasn't looking at the freaking leaves.
Hey, I got played too, okay?
We all got played.
I did too. I was done. I was fucking done.
All right, so
the bet was set that Dalton, whoever got to do this first, this is what doesn't make sense to me about this bet.
Yes.
So the two things, E-Man had to get his car on track and do a full lap in anger.
Yes. With the Datsun.
Yes. Or Dalton had to take his Corvette ice racing with studded tires.
Yep.
Whoever accomplished that first won the bet. The problem is that for Dalton, ice is not a guarantee.
Correct.
So there's a chance that he could have not gotten this.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if that ice does appear, there's basically no geographical way that E-Man can win without putting in serious money to drive his car to a southern state or something like that to beat Dalton. So, like, it's a terrible bet from the gate.
And the problem was we used terms in the bet. So it was Dalton has to go ice racing.
Yes.
I tried to clarify what the fuck racing means.
Right.
Is it an autocross run? Does there have to be a timer? No one wanted to give me an answer.
No.
And then E-Man had to be on track. What track?
And do a full lap.
Does an autocross count? No, we didn't clarify any of this shit.
Well, and then
so we knew this was a bad idea.
Because E-Man is a degenerate, so drifting qualifies in his mind as a track.
Yep.
But is that a track day?
I was give him that one.
That's what I'm asking.
A track day. I thought we had established that Dalton had to make it to, like, again, these are assumptions, that Dalton had to make it to Ice Battle where they would actually put a timer out.
Right.
And then E-Man had to go to a track and do an actual track day. It didn't have to be timed, but he had to put in an actual track day.
That's what it would have been in my mind.
That was the assumption.
But that's not.
No,
because
no one clarified.
Because no one clarified. And
if you guys
have
are wondering
to
what
clarify.
our group chat is like, it's this, but worse.
All day.
It never stops.
Yep. 33 million messages.
So the loser also had to get a tattoo is what the deal was. So E-Man is getting an Iowaman racing tattoo at some point.
But the tattoos started out way worse than they ended up. Because at one point you were going to get something about sister. That's what he really wanted.
Yeah. So mine was just Iowaman racing from the start. Then he wouldn't decide on one and let me agree on it. So I think the N3 were Petrobox,
the 1010s podcast logo,
1010s podcast, or the outline of a Z, or just a Z emblem, I think. Because I was
in right, because at one point it was going to be an outline of the state of Ohio, which would have been really funny too.
I would have refused it instantly.
I was in on the Z logo.
Here was my other issue with the consequences of the bet: is that Dalton does not currently have any tattoos, right?
Right.
No, I don't.
Okay.
And like,
I didn't realize you guys are waiting for me.
He's
to ask.
not.
I thought you knew that.
I don't. You're not opposed to tattoos, obviously. It's just that you've never gotten one.
I'm not that dedicated to anything to actually
put it on your body forever.
Yeah. 3 years from now, Dalton may be way different.
I'll give you that.
But like E-Man,
I'm not that into cougars.
I'm sorry, what?
What kind of cougars?
I'm not as much into cougars as your shoulder there.
It's a panther.
Sure. Like the story.
My hidden tattoos are about cougars.
But E-Man is covered from head to toe in ink.
Yes.
And so another stupid... I mean, he has a fucking 1010s podcast logo on his...
But not a full logo.
I mean,
it doesn't say podcast on it. Yeah. There's a picture of a tack.
Yeah.
But like...
Well, he got 1010s. It took 2 tattoos for him to get the tack, and then we bitched at him, and he got 1010s, not podcast.
Yeah.
But the consequence of getting a tattoo is way lower for E-Man than it is for Dalton.
For sure.
It's like 10 to 1 odds, really.
So it's not a fair consequence either.
Yep.
And for the life of me, I couldn't come up with something that was as equivalently, I don't want to say terrible, but like is the equivalent consequence to E-Man as Dalton getting his first tattoo of, say, a Nissan Z emblem or an outline of Ohio. You know, like I couldn't come up with something that is the same level of terribleness.
Well, and the funny thing about this was
sort of like losing a pinky or something. Yeah.
This started out as me suggesting a slap bet.
Right.
That's how far it went.
Which would have been way better.
Yeah.
Ooh, Iowaman tattoo on E-Man is so much better.
I'll give you that.
It's pretty funny.
It's good. He has to do it now, though. That's the thing.
Did we dictate where it's going to be?
No, because we didn't clarify anything.
I think he's going to do it mid-Ohio. He said he got his...
No, not when.
Everything where he said on his body?
Oh, I think he needs to get a tramp stamp.
I think
Does
that's covered.
Not already
I
have a tramp
I think
stamp?
He's got back tattoo. Like I think he's got a big tattoo that goes from head to or like shoulder to torso.
He doesn't have a whole lot of real estate left.
They can get covered up with a new tattoo. That's what happens when you cheat.
Yeah, so we'll skip to that. The end of that part of the story is that E-Man.
So that's the impetus of this. So Dalton proceeds to then buy like 10,000 bolts and a bolt sharpener.
Oh, what's 1,000 bolts and a bolt sharpener?
1,000. Yeah. So how many is it?
It's, I think the 335s on the back are like 242 bolts I could put in or something, and the 275s up front were like 208 or something. I'd have to look, but
so I
mean, that sounds like a lot, but man, just sharpen the bolts the first night we had a whole bunch of people drinking, sharpening bolts, putting studs in, like drilling holes.
So when you say sharpening bolts, is that like some sort of tool?
These don't come just like ready to be
You put it in
ice battled?
in a bench press or not a bench press. Drill press.
I got a drill press. Yes.
Okay.
So to sharpen them, it's actually a snowmobile stud sharpener, and I put it in my drill press, and then I has a little tiny vise in the bottom, and everyone can see my hand gestures on the podcast.
Yep.
Is it like a pencil sharpener?
No, it has like carbide tips, and it's just a 45-degree angle on it.
And it chucks into the drill press. It's like
a drill press.
It's almost like a deburring tool.
Yeah, it looks similar to a deburring tool.
Okay.
Except
almost exactly like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I just chucked in a 1/2-inch socket in the base so I could just swap in bolts in and out, and I could do like 5 a minute, and it's
that's still 1,000 of them.
So there is a person that sells them, but they sell 100 of them for $100.
Ooh.
And the bolts were $160 with washers with nylocks. So I figured out my my ex brother-in-law.
That's a story for another time.
Works at a place.
That's a story for the Slip Angle Patreon.
No.
It already exists.
Oh yeah,
I think it already does. Yeah,
then we've definitely covered that.
Mother brother, it was on there. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Such a good episode.
Jesus Christ.
Why are we advertising for them?
It's fine.
We'll do it on this show for free sometime. How about that?
But I don't know. We were working for like 5 hours and we got 1.5 tires done. But then the next day I went out and finished sharpening the bolts. Oh my God, it was not fun.
That seems super tedious and not fun.
And then when the bolts
I
are
think
all
it's been
sharpened,
2 weeks. And I still got urethane all up and down my arms.
you still had to go out and drill holes for all of them.
Yeah. Well, these aren't like self tappers. You can't just like do it.
No, it's 5/16 bolts by 1.25 inch long.
And you got to get them through.
No, wait, hold on. So you take a drill bit, drill a hole in the tire, and then thread these through.
Yeah,
and then tighten them.
And then
I have drilled holes in tires that we used to on silage bales to keep the tarp from blowing away.
Yep.
And we had to drill holes in them to keep water from accumulating in them because it makes a gigantic mess. That fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Granted, it was the bit was 1 inch, so it was much bigger, but still. I didn't do it. Actually, I probably did do it 1,000 times, and it sucked. It was awful.
Ryan did every single hole, and that's why they're not uniform.
Yeah, I was gonna say they weren't offset at all on that one tire.
Yeah, there was one tire that it was really nice and uniform, and then just all out of nowhere, a straight line. I don't know what Ryan Seiler was thinking.
So then you have to go through and sharpen all these bolts first. That's step one. And then you go through and drill a hole for it in the tire.
Yes.
And then you impact it into the tire with some urethane.
Yep.
And a washer, I'm assuming, on the bolt head side.
Yep.
And then he bought nylocks.
Inside out.
Yep.
He bought nylocks to put on the outside.
Yep.
And then you got to torque those down.
You got to urethane the washer on the outside too, just because, and then you nylock it down and impact that on.
With like a deep socket and an impact gun?
This was way more intense
just do it
than I thought.
when they impact it through the inside. The other person has a wrench and the nylock on the outside, and then one other person is running the caulk gun and caulking the inside washers and the outside washers, so you can.
Dude, I thought you were just taking self tappers and like dipping them
in
urethane. And then, oh my God!
If you did labor hours to every single person there, and like when they were actually working, I bet it was like 30 hours of labor.
Fuck all that.
Now,
but they hold there, they'll be ready for next year.
Most people think that even a 275 is an insanely wide tire for this situation. Like I would guess 245, 225 is like
plenty.
Is probably pretty wide, because if you're going for if you look at a rally car when they're doing snow stages, they run really narrow tires. Yeah. And I don't know that that's necessarily what you want on an ice racing car, but I don't think that they're running 335, 275 setups.
No. So the Wisconsin Racing Group, I forget the CWSCC.
CWSCC.
Yep. the 335s were off the chart of how many studs you can have on a tire. I think they stopped at like 295s. So I just went to how many you can put in a 295 just so I didn't get
that's probably
thrown out.
That's probably plenty.
So you actually were arguably understudded.
Arguably, yeah.
Which is a problem you have a lot, I'm sure.
I actually do think in ice, if there's no snow or anything, which they plow the thing and everything, I am so surprised at how much traction you really get with those studs.
I'm not.
Just that you're literally sticking into the ice.
Yeah, you're digging into the ice.
And it leaves ridiculous grooves. Like, you whip around a corner and you put it to the ground, you can't drift it, you can't do nothing. I think on fresh ice, I have more traction than on dry pavement.
Yeah,
like at the drag strip? Like, do you think you could launch that car harder
it'd be like
on
driving
ice with the studs
it'd be like driving on
than you
sandpaper.
could at Topeka?
I think so, almost.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I bet it's like
on
driving
those
on
tires.
sandpaper.
But I had,
so
if I had
ridiculous.
actual...
Well, yeah, but I know. But like when we were at Heartland this year, when you did the drag racing, do you think that car would launch harder at the ice racing or at the drag strip as it was set up?
I think ice racing, or it'd be really, really close.
Wow.
That's so ridiculous.
That's amazing.
And it just where it launches too, which I was trying to do, you throw in ice videos, but it just the studs dig down as far as they go. And there's just grooves everywhere where there was studs, and then just down to and it leave it for like 50 foot. But that was revving up like 5,000 RPM, just dropping the clutch and just.
That's got to be so hard on your drive line.
All right, so
they're slip. It's ice. It's slippery.
So do you have to get there and then throw these tires on, or did you actually like drive these onto the trailer with them?
I wanted to. Ryan would not let me. He said it's really bad for them. They're going to poke holes and they're going to leak and all sorts of things. And I'm like, man, I am lazy.
So you had to swap tires on ice?
So
that sounds safe.
Yeah, it sucks.
Oh, it gets worse than that. So actually, Ryan, we'll go back to
wait.
Left.
Before you talk about that, I want to think about the sorry son of a bitch that had to mount these.
Yeah, who mounted them?
The shop.
You brought him into a shop?
Yeah. He doesn't have a tire mounter.
I don't.
You don't have a guy?
Not yet. I have a tire balancer, not a mounter.
You have a bouncer, but not a.
I haven't picked it up yet, but I bought one drunk at the bar.
Why do you balance things?
Who
I
bothers?
bought them drunk from the bar, so I can
Your
balance
cars are
tires
so crooked from being crashed 9 times. It doesn't matter if they're balanced or not.
They're gonna have 8 ounces of rubber on the inside of the lip, anyways.
So a local shop for some reason likes me, and I only deal with them to mount tires and align cars until I get an alignment rack that I find for cheap. Keep an eye out, Robbie.
I've sent you like 3 of them. I don't know what to tell you.
I had no money then. I'm catching back up.
Your banker says otherwise.
It's true.
8% tells me way otherwise.
Yeah, that's awful interest.
I don't want to talk about it.
Nope.
I just paid off my Neil Chase bill for my shop, so I'm almost caught up.
I've almost never gotten more individual listener DMs than I did when we talked about my van.
Yeah, I believe that.
I got quite a few.
I believe that.
So
I'm not surprised.
What a joke.
A lot of people were like, been there, I feel for you.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that people didn't want to post publicly about it.
Yeah, well, no, I wouldn't.
I get it.
But yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, you brought this into the random co-op.
The co-op. Fuck the co-op in town. That's a different story.
All right, so you brought it into
I'll go. The co-op in town bitched to my grandma about me at church. One of like the main managers there.
That's the most small town Iowa thing I've ever heard, and I'm not surprised at all.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, the local car shop that likes me, they do my alignments, wheel balances, and when I wreck a car, they do my what am I trying to say here? Not inspect.
They recertify it and say it's street legal?
No, that's not that. They give me a bid really high in the works, so my insurance company gives me more.
Maybe don't say that in public, you know?
It's called insurance fraud, I'm pretty sure.
It's their bid, not mine.
Jesus.
So you brought your tires to this co-op.
Yeah, the co-op did that for me. Fuckers.
So you brought your tires to the co-op. Did you tell your friend ahead of time that this is coming, or you just show up?
No, I did tell them what was going on. They actually asked for pictures and videos, and then
that's probably a pretty standard response for most things when Dalton requests something.
That's fair.
I need pictures.
So they unmounted them, they charged me for that, and then I dropped off the studded tires and the wheels a few weeks later because I thought I was going to get done one day. Holy fuck, it's not a one-night job. So dropped them off later. I'm like, told them up front, and the main person at the desk wasn't there. And like, I don't need them until like Thursday, Friday this week, but like mid-Friday at latest, because I'm not going to mount them before I do whatever. So walk out there, go check in on Thursday because I haven't got them yet. And I'm like, at like 4 p.m. Like, when do you need them? Like, tomorrow by noonish if possible. If not, I can go mount them myself. And then they called me like 45 minutes later. Yep, those are all done. And the person at the front desk, the freaking whatever, he mounted them for me for some reason. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to bill you for these. I don't want them on our books.
I don't understand why that's the problem.
He's like, I don't know if these things will hold air or what. There was urethane on the bead, all sorts of things. And I'm like, they're not like they're a street tire. You know what these are going for. I'm like, all right, thanks. But I think it was more of a friend thing. He's borrowed our dump trailer and a couple other things, though. Yeah, so
the long and the short of it was they're not warranted.
They're not warranted at all. That's my understanding. They hold air better than most of them do.
The ones that you did versus okay,
somehow so far.
Hey, that's cool.
So far, we've only had to fill up one tire 3 psi.
That's not bad.
Oh man, how shitty would that have been to mount those? I mean, I suppose you don't like really touch the tread that much.
What's the aspect ratio on these? 35s, 30s?
I think the 275s are 30s and the 335s are 30s and the 275s are 35s. They are pretty low pro.
So they sucked real bad.
Dude,
they are so heavy.
I would have double charged you.
A 35 is not terrible. A 30 is terrible.
For the blood that undoubtedly was drawn.
He for sure ruined a shirt or pants or both.
Yeah. That's crazy.
He was just a front desk worker.
Yeah, that would not have been a super fun one.
No.
What tires are these?
Rival S's, 1.5s.
Are those awful sidewalls or no?
I have no idea.
Are they super stiff sidewalls?
I don't know.
I've never mounted those.
I've never mounted one of them.
Well, that's right. You didn't mount them. Never mind.
So,
what do you expect?
Yeah, fair enough.
And then they called me like halfway through. They're like, do you want these balanced? I'm like, how the fuck do you think you're going to balance these things? I'm like, I'd be curious.
Yeah, throw one on just so I know.
Yeah, give me an idea.
And they did. They threw one on, and when I went to pick them up, he's like, I think it's still in the machine. I go show you. It was 3 ounces on one, like on the same, whatever place in the tire. But the front was 3 ounces and the back was 2 ounces. I was actually kind of surprised it was only 5 ounces.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
What wheels did you put this on?
My Forge Stars that I originally had in the car when I wasn't going to race them. That's why they only have 275s in the front.
Forge Stars. I thought he said Forge Stars, and I heard Forge Line.
No.
I don't.
Because don't you have some CCWs too?
I do have some CCWs,
but those are really wide up front, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really wide up front.
So the 275
those have my
worked. That's
AO52s on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got those from your buddy Josh
Jones.
Yeah, I remember.
So ridiculous, though.
Yep.
All right, so you've transported the car
to Wisconsin.
Wait! I gotta. Before I transported the car, Ryan. So we were leaving Friday. Ryan calls me at I'm like 40 minutes away, but I think we're gonna go out on the ice tonight. Get some. Do you have lights? I'm like, no, I ain't got no fucking lights.
It's a race car.
Wait a second. Didn't you have to build like a skid plate or something?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the skid plate that you bought a plasma table.
I didn't realize.
You did it the night before?
None of us knew that you had a plasma table.
Yeah, that's good to know. Actually, it would have been really good to know when I was cutting out the
wing sports.
The wing sports. I couldn't find anybody locally.
None of us knew that. Not a single person except maybe
not have
Ryan.
A plasma table or
no, he's got a plasma cutter, but not a controlled like CNC thing.
It's called fabrication.
Yeah, by hand. It's all handmade shit.
makes it worth more.
Exactly.
That's not
Just a
what,
little
that's not what
crooked, but
Ryan,
it's
or
worth
that's not
more.
what Robbie's after here.
No, I just wanted precision, and no one in town would do it. I couldn't find anyone that would do it.
I got you next time.
Well, yeah,
But
no.
yeah,
for the next set of wing uprights you need.
so all I did was put Iowaman racing in it. Actually, I was gonna make the whole thing myself, and then
So
my
did you?
cousin that works as a welder at a just like swing by and was like asked if he had any cheap steel around, so I didn't have to run and get any. He's like, "Oh, I can get you some from work tomorrow. That's no big deal." Like, "Oh, sweet." He's like, "Do you want to bend or anything?" I'm like, "Sure." Took a couple measurements and he bent it for me. So I had it pre-bent when he showed up, and it like was about perfect with my drunken measurements, and threw it on the plasma table, put Iowaman racing in there to get a little bit of airflow through the radiator and oil cooler, and worked like a top.
So you
Matte
just
painted
ran no
orange.
front bumper, no front splitter.
No front bumper, no front splitter, no supports up there at all. I was kind of worried because that's about the last of my front fender supports. There's not much left.
So they're just
Yeah.
hanging out up there now.
Basically.
Because the only thing that supported them was the front bumper originally, and then the inner fenders that got cut out for the top fender vents.
That's right.
And
And
then
those
back-
track spec vents.
Yeah,
in
the
it, don't you?
track spec vents, and then there's one bolt right in front of the door, and then one bolt on the side skirt. So like that whole front is like it got pretty floppy there for a while. but
So
Ryan called me and was like, "You got headlights?" We were like on a mission to get there. He's like, "We're gonna go out tonight," and I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean tonight? We won't be there till like 9. Be pitch black." But I
You know what's a good idea? Going to a place you've never been,
never.
getting on the ice in pitch black,
Well-
and just hopping in your car.
But to be fair, Robbie, you don't have to worry about obstacles on ice.
No, but you know what you do have to worry about? Falling through the ice.
there's ice. It's fine.
I mean, I'm sure somebody scoped it out before.
That's a safe assumption. Yeah, let's.
They knew who they were dealing with.
So
It is Wisconsin.
They're grid lifer. Yeah.
it's-
He was probably the soberest person there,
Yeah, probably.
having just driven
Probably.
that far.
Yeah,
Because it's Wisconsin.
yeah, Wisconsin.
So
I
Yeah,
drank
they're-
a couple beers on the way. Are you just kidding? I think I only had one, so it's fine.
it's okay. Ryan always drives Slumlord.
Yeah, that is true.
I wasn't right.
Slumlord is his truck, by the way. Just so everyone's clear. Because his license plate says Slumlord
Yes.
on it.
All right, so how'd you figure out the lights?
Somehow I had just a brand new box of Hello Lights on the shelf, and I'm like, fuck, I was going to run around and grab wire. And those things were mint. They had a relay, had a switch, it even had a fuse. I was never going to fuse that thing. Had mounts.
Where are
so I
they?
mounted it right
Were
on
you
the top of
running
the skid
them?
plate.
Were you running them on the? Oh, I see them.
So they're just like little 4-inch or
Pods.
2-inch squares. Yeah. Okay, so you got.
It worked pretty damn good.
I
though.
was
Not
I was a little
I-
confused
those are
by
pretty
your.
bright.
That's why I asked when you sent that video of you doing a
night?
pull on the ice at night. I was like, is that the Corvette? Because it looked like it from the side, but I was like, I know he does not have headlights. I know he gutted those headlight pods. So that I was confused by that. So now I see.
we were getting close to Wisconsin, like at 7:30, and Ryan was talking to his buddies up there, and they were like, "Let's go out tonight." And Ryan's like, "Oh man, it's kind of late, kind of cold," because it was late and cold. And like, we were really going to go out there and swap on studs. Like, maybe we'll just go out in winter tires and feel it out, and then whatever, and go have some fun, and then worry about studs later or tomorrow morning or whatever.
Wait a second. What winter tires?
From the Camaro.
Oh, you were the
Yeah,
Camaro
Because
too?
the Camaro and the Corvette have the same bolt pattern and close enough offset that he can run. He can swap wheels and tires back and forth.
All right, we're on the
They're
same.
like,
We're tracking. I'm on the same page now.
they are so good of same offset. I can run the 355s on the Corvette on the Camaro because the V6 Camaro needs 355 rears.
Well, yeah, obviously.
So
But
you have 355 rears. It's
it
so
fits in the
ridiculous.
fender.
Yep,
Factory fender.
like the Z.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
The
You
Z
can
does
tuck
not
a
fit 355s.
355.
The Z. No, not 355. 315s.
Damn.
He's only got another couple inches to go.
It's fine. Oh, I don't. It's fine. Anyways,
But so we get there, and I go on the winter tires, like down the because it's a boat ramp you're getting this access to. Unload, go down the boat ramp. And I'm
I
like,
never thought about that, but that's probably how you get on the lake.
Sense, yeah.
All right.
go down there, and I was just going to go do a quick lap following one of Ryan's buddies that just showed up, and the winter tires, and just give it the slightest, off idle, because it has not the biggest cam, but a decent cam, and just rum. And every time it hit, it would spin the rear tires, and then you get a little bit of speed. I'm like, okay, I'm fine. Give it like an eighth throttle and just spun a 360. I'm like, okay, just get a little more speed, take it a little more easy, get moving again. And same thing. Like, well, going back and gonna go get those studded tires, because there is making it nowhere with you. I made it about 50 yards with 2 spin outs.
So right.
Me, Ryan, and Lucas jacked it up, swapped tires real quick.
On the ice.
What a world of difference. On the ice, yeah, that wasn't good. And then also, because it's a Track Mod Corvette with no windshield wipers or anything, and why they actually canceled Ice Battle was the ice was not that great. There was 2...
As in, like, not thick enough?
No, well, I never checked it personally, but
So
it was
not
cracking,
thick
having
enough.
water on top of it.
It was definitely
did have
not
me
thick enough for a bunch of cars.
Yeah.
No trailers is what they're saying.
Right.
Yeah, we did not bring Slumlord or the trailer on the ice all weekend. And there was a couple places where,
where the ice had shifted enough that you could maybe, jump a car.
I don't know if that was I'm not sold on if that was, maybe.
How else would that happen?
Think of it like a tectonic plate.
Yeah.
No. I don't know if it was going onto dirt. There was still ice there, but it was completely solid ice. So I think that was a bulge. I don't know.
Okay.
A bulge.
It's fine. You didn't go through the ice. Spoiler.
Didn't go through the ice. So, but either way, we showed up, ripped a couple laps with Ryan's buddy Tom, and then Tom O'Gorman showed up, and he drove the Corvette. And
this is all at night still.
Tomo drove
all
the
at
Vet?
night. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking
So
hilarious.
this is before the event was supposed to even start, and before they canceled it, or canceled the ice portion of it.
I think we knew it was not happening.
It was canceled a couple hours before this.
Okay.
So also, this is a thing you don't know about because Dalton didn't share it in the chat that E-Man is in. But they knew like probably Wednesday that there was a good possibility that there wasn't going to be an ice battle.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because
they sent out an email to all the pre-registered drivers saying, hey, we have a backup plan, and this is what the backup plan is, but the ice is not good. We may not be able to do this.
Okay.
the ice was completely perfect for 2-3 cars to go up and have shenanigans. That's what it was good for. So even that night, 9 o'clock, it was 20 degrees out, not warm. Go rip a couple laps, have a couple people through it, and like there was one crack in the ice that was having water flow through it, and if you hit it, which almost took up the whole portion that was plowed, it would just splash water all over the windshield every other lap. Got to pull off.
That right there would have been enough for me to say, fuck this. I would have, no, if I'm splashing water onto my car because it's not frozen.
And he's got no side windows, so you know you're getting a little wet.
No side windows,
no heater,
no defrost. So
no defrost, no windshield wipers even.
Were you fogging up or anything like that?
Oh, freezing up and fogging up. So you freeze up, you hit the puddle, you got to go drive, halfway around the place, and you can barely see your. You know when you hop in your car and you can't see in the morning, and you want to go to work and you don't care. And you're driving through the middle of the road.
No, I have a garage. I don't know what that's like.
Not anymore. You were there. Don't act like you were always rich.
College.
Are you trust fund Robbie?
No, I didn't have a garage. Yeah. Let's move on.
Did you have a garage when you were growing up?
When I was in high school?
Yeah.
No.
You can go fuck yourself.
He also had one for most of his college career as well.
No. Only 2 years of it.
Oh, that's right. You went to school for 8 years, Robbie.
7 years.
Everybody goes. I mean,
I got 2 degrees.
Doctors go to school for 7 or 8 years.
So do mechanics and engineers at the same time.
Not everyone goes to school for 8 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
My brother's a doctor. He did that. I just decided I didn't want to be a grease monkey. So I just do that for fun now.
So yeah,
because I'm real smart.
Fun. That's
so I was letting a couple other people take fun runs in the Corvette, and every time someone went out, and you could see where we unloaded, where the puddle was. When you get there, stay to the left because you're gonna hit water and it's gonna splash the windshield. They come back around. Can you scrape the windshield? Scrape the windshield. Go back around. And it was just every fucking time.
How many?
And I didn't have a windshield scraper either, but luckily, Tom Holland, Ryan's buddy. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I think it's.
Hopefully, he doesn't listen, so I don't get his name wrong.
He listens.
Super
for
cool
sure.
dude. Older guy took me out in his FRS for the sight lap after I kind of messed around following him, and just giggling the whole time, drifting his FRS and winter tires. And then Ryan was following us in the Corvette actually at that time, and that's when we made the second hole in the ice. And
the second hole in the ice?
Yeah, don't worry about it. But we hit it head on the FRS and just spun out, did a 360. Yeah, there's 2 spots to hit.
Yikes.
Don't worry about it.
Wow.
So
They definitely made the right call not having, the 55 cars that are registered to go to the ice.
Yeah, I believe that. So how many people drove your car?
He's counting on his hand. On his
5?
fingers.
6.
Okay, and of the 6 people that drove your car, how many complained about how horribly positioned your pedals are?
No, and they're having too much fun.
Damn it.
That's true, Robbie.
Just
That's not a thing you're concerned
Just
about.
so we're clear, his pedals are in the wrong spot.
That's not a thing you're concerned about when you're ripping stick on the ice.
The pedals are where they worked. I do need to reposition those.
Yes, you do.
Tomo said he drove one-handed with one hand over his inside ear to cover up the noise because it is obnoxiously loud, especially without a helmet.
That's right. No helmet, of course, because it was Wisconsin.
At nights, 75% of us weren't wearing a seatbelt.
For fuck's sake. I'm not even like Mr. Safety, and I'm just like...
Jermaine just had an anxiety attack. Well, I mean, to be fair, if
you
the
go
car
through
falls
the
through the
ice-
ice, I don't want to be belted in with a 5-point or a helmet.
Yeah, yeah.
I did one
But what happens when
couple laps without a seatbelt, and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. This thing is going faster than you think on the ice, even in the dark when you can't see.
Yeah, and I
You
wouldn't
slide
want to
out
be
of-
like sliding around either. Like I like to be strapped into my seat.
Yeah.
So I don't whatever.
Well, and I'm sure Dalton has an American-sized seat.
Yeah, so I'd be like
So you
all
would
over the place
slide.
in it. Yeah.
No, it's very, very snug for me.
Yes,
So it's
I would be-
loose
I-
fitting
yeah.
on Robbie. That's what we're getting at.
My just so in my car, I have a Sparco Corsa. The widest belt size that you can have in a Sparco Corsa is 31 inches.
Jesus Christ.
I wore 32 size fucking pants when I was 155 pounds in high school.
30s. I got a 30.
I
Me
still
too.
wear a 32. So
yeah, I would be swimming in your seat. Plus, I'd be soaking wet.
You were in it before. You should know this.
Yeah, and I had to like really strap myself in, and I still wasn't sitting in the right spot. And your pedals
Seatbelts
are
are
wrong.
optional. Ask anyone.
And your pedals are wrong,
what were they wrong?
know,
What's wrong about them?
dude. They're so low. Like they're not in the right spot.
Oh, they're
Not in the right spot. You can't like the reason he can't heel toe is because his pedals are on the.
He doesn't have to heel toe. He has
The
a
reason I
sequential.
can't heel toes because I don't have to.
The reason he couldn't when he had to was because the brakes are basically on the floor like a bus.
Robbie,
Just so you know,
if
I
you have
never
two
had that
options,
pedal box.
if you have two options, right, Robbie? Your options are either A, move your pedals,
Yeah.
or B, buy a sequential.
Just-
Which ones are you going to do, Robbie? You're going to buy a sequential.
Just so we're clear, these are not factory pedals. These are aftermarket pedals
it's a
he
Tilton-
installed.
It's a Tilton box.
So also, I installed the pedals when I put the sequential in and the ABS, and I did all that stuff at once. So when I put them in, I'm like, this is good enough to hit the gas and the brakes.
It's not good
And
enough to hit
then
the brakes. Just so
left
we're
foot
clear.
braking is terrible, and I realize that left foot braking is a thing you should probably do with the sequential. So they do need to move for that.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Right? Thank you. Yep. Good for you.
No,
man.
but
Good for
if
you,
you were
man.
doing all right foot stuff, it's not
Yes, it is.
perfect.
It's
no,
terrible.
it's okay.
It's terrible.
It's more than okay for right foot.
No.
I feel comfortable using my right foot with it only.
That's because you've
But
grown
I'm-
accustomed to
Yeah, I
it.
was
It
gonna
doesn't
say-
make it
No,
right.
no.
no. Growing
They're
accustomed to it. How much have I driven it? Like 27 laps?
fair.
Ouch.
Anyways, wrong pedals aside,
Everyone had a good time.
Everyone had a good time, and apparently no one complained.
I didn't see anyone out of it mad. Everyone was smiling.
Weird. They got to drive somebody else's C6 Corvette with a sequential in it, and they came out of the car smiling. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Dusty would have came out frowning because it would have been cold.
Well, he would have came out frowning
cold.
because his life was ruined, and now he'd have to buy a Corvette because that's why he avoids Corvettes.
I should have drive the Corvette.
Also,
it's too
he's
cold.
freezing.
Yeah, it's too
that's
cold.
way too cold for Dusty.
He would have died before he got in the car. Let's be real.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made it any farther north.
Actually, the seat would have been the
Des
right
Moines.
size then because he would have had like 6 layers and a
True.
Carhartt.
He would have had so many clothes on; it would have been a perfect fit for him.
Look like the Marshmallow Man.
If anybody's skinnier than you, it's him.
Yeah, I think he's a little skinnier than me.
Yeah. So,
I've been in the gym,
So-
man. I've actually gotten better.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
good for you, Robbie.
I was. We have different levels of fitness, but like I was looking at myself saying, I'm fucking unhappy, and I went to the gym. So I've been in
Good.
the gym every day.
Good.
Proud of you.
Thanks.
Dalton did one sit up and
Straight
threw out his back.
I just want to say, even though it's small and I didn't want to fucking say it on here, I did 10 decline sit-ups yesterday, and I didn't even throw my back out.
Look at you.
Proud of you.
That's
progress.
It's progress.
So what Adam was going
I'm
to
proud of
get
you.
at is I bought a bench, and then I didn't have any weights for it yet because they were coming in.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I'll do a couple decline sit-ups because I've never done, been a while. Sit-ups are completely fucking fine. Like a 15-degree decline, nothing crazy. And it has a little footholds that hold you in so you can do declines and stuff and not fall back. Lean back, go up once, and I throw my back out. I laid in my bed for 40 minutes, like on a pillow, like stretching my back out backwards. I could barely walk. It was fucking miserable.
That was
And
a
that's
turning
the state
point
of
for
shape I'm
Dalton
in.
Klein.
Yep. Yep.
Now he only buys one breakfast burrito
Yes.
instead of 2.
4.
And like,
Jesus Christ.
all right. So you survived Friday. You survived Friday night.
So on the way there, they canceled, since we said that,
Yep.
they canceled Ice Battle on the ice, and they moved it to a small paved
Oval.
circle track, oval.
Yep.
Circle track oval. And the problem with that is, if I had better winter tires, I would have done it. But it's like a kind of rally through snow and mud on the outside, then you hop on the inside of the oval, and then you go through slushy snow. And my winter tires are from 2019 or 2018 from the Camaro, and they've been daily driven since then. And I think those winter tires wear out and dry rot pretty quick because, as I was saying earlier, my 360s, like I would have been stuck almost every time I went out. And I didn't want to ruin anyone else's day seeing me get pulled out every time I got to run.
That's fair. And you can't use the studs because paved oval.
Pavement.
So.
Yep. So we went out the next morning, and it was me, Ryan, Lucas Miller, and Dana showed up. And
Dana
he took
Vizitsky.
pictures, had a grand old time. He drove it, and then we did enough studying. So you have a shit ton of traction on smooth ice, but once you go over with studded cars so much, it kind of like it throws 1/4-inch chunks ish, I'd say, and it made it pretty much like a just slushy on top, I guess. I don't know what you shaved ice on top.
Yeah, like a tropical snow.
Ooh.
Like a tropical snow across this whatever 3/4 mile autocross-esque track. And then you get a little bit of start losing traction, and we were probably out there for 3 hours just swapping turns, drifting, driving the Corvette. It was so much fun. Just and then when you could see too, because there was a lot of times in the night, like going to the second gear on the Corvette, and then all of a sudden your lights show a tree and you slam the brakes and fucking,
I'm sure they're perfectly aimed and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put them on, and I timed it from when Ryan called me to put the lights on, and my ex-brother-in-law was also at my house. It was 14 minutes from all the headlights installed and wired.
Yeah, they were for sure lined up right.
Yeah, perfect. Nailed it.
Yep.
Shocked the car didn't burn down.
had a fuse in it. It was way better than I expected to do. So
That's right. I remember that. You were so proud of that.
I was never going to put a fuse in myself or a switch. I was going to do something like a spade connector and a male female and just kind of plug it in when I needed it. I even like zip tied up the switch so I can hit it by my shifter.
What is it that you do for a living?
He wires things.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're clear.
Yep. And he claims he's good at it.
Supposedly.
Not only that, but I know people who work with him that claim he's good at it too, which is mind-boggling. Really, I think what that shows is the sorry state of the American workforce.
Exactly.
I think it shows
He's one of our best employees.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't believe anybody gets ice cream and milk.
So if you do something that works so much, you don't want to do it good at home, do you?
Sure.
I mean, to an extent, maybe. Like, I know the rule is, like, you don't buy a mechanic's car, but, like, I couldn't wire my car to look like yours. It would upset me.
So I also, even at work, I always wire things up sloppy and then I tidy up and like run everything in a loop and then I like trim it up and like actually run it together. But you guys spotted it before I did that and everyone gave me shit. So it's going nowhere.
So you want to send us a picture of what it looks like right now?
No, he's saying he's not going to fix it because we made fun of him.
Oh.
Because we made fun of him for doing a shitty job, he's never going to fix it out of spite.
I can respect that.
No. If anything, the spite should motivate him to make it flawless.
But I appreciate the doing things out of spite.
His commitment.
Yes, I appreciate your pettiness.
There's no one who's more petty than Dalton Klein. Let's be real.
Yep.
The worst part is it's starting to bug me how bad it is too. It's like
good,
but the spite is overweighing it still. So
wow.
Doing all that.
Yeah, so at what point did you start getting bored with just driving in circles?
Well, no. Well, it wasn't circles. There was
you decided
S's,
that it was time to maybe
horseshoe.
see if you could get it off the ground.
So that happened after, first off, Ryan fucked up a drift and took it off-roading, and he actually
got stuck,
bottomed out. He did get stuck. He's the only person I had to get towed out all weekend.
Man.
South Dakotans, man.
Yep. Just because he drives in it every day.
Meth. He's on it.
Yep, they're on it.
Guaranteed. I could tell just hanging out with him all weekend. So it was pretty much right after that he ran a wheel in the inner fender well and fucked that up because I would have never done that jump in it. So he's the only one that broke anything all weekend.
Wow.
So that you know of so far.
Correct.
Oh, I have a lot of stuff torn apart and cut apart right now, so I think I would have seen anything.
Uh-huh.
So after that, I said, we're almost out of fuel because we were. Anyone else want to go take some drifty runs? Because after this, I'm jumping it. We don't know if it's coming back.
I commend your level of commitment to this. Because it's way beyond where I would have gone. First off,
who wants their last run? Because next thing up, I'm jumping this bitch, and we may not survive it.
Yeah. No way I would do it with my car.
There's also 60 grand in that fucking car.
Yeah, and also no effing way would I go to Ice Battle. As soon as you say Ice Battle, I shiver. I'm like, nah, I'm with you. I'm with Dusty.
Actually, Ice Battle is way safer than you think it is. And
it's not the safety that's the issue. It's the temperature.
Yeah, it's cold.
Oh,
we were just talking about how skinny I am. I'm a tropical
all weekend.
I'm a tropical people, even if I don't live in the tropics.
So
I'm with Robbie on this one.
Did that. And then everyone got the drift out of the way. Besides Ryan, he was ashamed of his terrible actions after he got it stuck and broke a couple minuscule things. He was ashamed to drive it.
That doesn't even look like it's that stuck.
Yeah, it's got studs on it.
Like, I feel like it should have just pulled itself right out of there.
Yeah. He was just talking about how much
I almost did it. I almost did it once, and learned a couple things about stud making. Is if you look, I don't know if you can see where the tires are. It makes grooves right where the studs are.
Oh yeah.
And then you only have that like half inch of stud, and once it's touching the tire, a 200 tread where it has exactly zero traction.
Yeah, game over.
Weird.
So even though there's only there's an inch and a quarter of ice that's just holding the tire up so the studs don't grab anymore, and you were just done.
You couldn't team push it? Just like get that extra...
Oh, we tried team pushing it, and then he was in... If you look, he was high centered too.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, it looks like that.
He was in a right in between where
it wasn't track specs height. It was basically dumped on the ground.
I also want to say something about that because I asked in I think our group chat or smaller group chat is, hey, I'm gonna crank this up an inch or two, and then Ryan's like, okay, I'm on my way. So I thought that meant, hey, I'm on my way. Don't touch it yet.
I'll come help you with that.
That's how I would.
I'll come help you and tell you how high to go. I'm like, oh, all right. And yeah, it was at stock track height, which is not great.
Like 2 inches off the ground and the highest point.
Ow.
Well, to be fair, it doesn't have the splitter and stuff on it.
Okay.
Oh, it's so nice though. And that thing without a splitter, you can just run it up your tilt bed. And
so what you need is some Pro Awesome quick discos.
Yep. Worth every penny.
Yeah, but then you still have to unbolt it in the back.
No. It's everything on mine is quick disconnect. It takes like 2 minutes.
What do you have in the front then?
Pins.
Rods?
Everything's on pins.
So I have, which works out well, is I have bolts in the back where not the sway bar, the lease ring used to sit where it mounts.
Yep.
And that holds the back. And I have Johnny's
too.
What?
That thing had leaves on the front too.
Yeah, they're full leaves.
I didn't know. I thought it was just leaf in the back.
Yeah.
No, they had
weird
traverse, so it was horizontal wheel to wheel on front and back, and I think they had that in the C7 too.
That's strange.
Such an archaic design, but
for such an advanced car,
right? Weird.
So, and then the front 9 lives, and it works really good. It's really stiff even without splitter rods, but I think you had to have 4 points of contact no matter what, otherwise it's gonna shimmy.
Yep. So mine's okay, go on. Finish. Sorry.
Oh, I think I could do what you're doing and bring my splitter rods out front.
Yep.
And then get rid of my rear bolts and then do
so I got...
Especially since I got a plasma table now.
Yeah, so I got 2 splitter rods in the front that are on pins, so I can disconnect them at the top or the bottom. Same with on the sides, basically where it meets the fender on the rear. And then I have the quick disconnect latches from Pro Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's got 6 points of contact.
Do you have no slop in the back then?
None. It's basically bottomed on my on that brace that goes across there. So like it's tight up in there.
Maybe I need to look into doing something similar.
I would recommend that.
Because right now it is such a... Well, the other problem is, which I'm going to have to redo my splitter. My splitter is riveted to my bumper through my splitter dam.
That's how the 240 was. And it was... The bumper and the splitter was all one piece. And then the splitter was bolted to the frame. Oh. So it was 6 bolts to get those pieces out. And then it was disconnect the bumper. And it looked good. And it was nice and rigid. But what a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good 45 minutes to get my splitter and bumper off, and it's fucking annoying.
Yeah, no.
It's too much.
I will take mine off so I can actually run the car where I want it, and then I can load it on the trailer without having to deal with it.
So.
Anyways, back to ice jumping. I mean, ice battling, racing, whatever.
Driving. He didn't race.
No
right?
racing.
He didn't
But that was the bet, Adam.
No, it was racing. I raced... And I did this on purpose. I drag raced one person at night so I could consider it racing. Ice street race.
Street race.
Well, Robbie, we didn't clarify.
I know.
So he is technically correct.
He is.
If some person is on the street, side by side, they shine a light, and they go down and go a quarter mile, is that a race or not?
Yes.
I don't support it.
No.
I don't care if you support it or not. This is in Mexico.
Breaking the law. Well, it's basically the same. It's cold Mexico.
That's a race.
Just darker beers and different cheeses.
Yeah, there's less queso.
Which is a real shame.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I want more queso.
Cheese.
They have lots of cheese, but no queso.
Yeah, they probably have better cheese.
If there's an option to put queso on it, I want it.
Yep.
So you got unstuck.
Or here. So I jumped it after I'm sticking it and offering it. I just jumped it. That's all. It was only like a foot off the ground. I
don't think that you're right about that. So you keep telling me that that's a foot off. That looks more than a foot.
I'm guessing you're looking at 2 feet.
You think so?
I think so.
I think I have the video. I don't
It
know.
landed quite well.
I don't
Dude,
know.
I was
Terrible
really shocked at how smoothly it seemed to land.
All right, I got the videos.
Actually, that's.
I don't know if the audio does its thing, but we're gonna try it anyways. All right, that was fast.
I think the front
don't know if
left
I can slow
tire
this
is
down.
definitely 2 foot off the ground. I wonder if I can do like a.
Here's a bigger one.
It landed shockingly smoothly.
It's at least a foot.
Oh yeah,
Oh, at least a foot.
a foot is
but I don't-
a generous underestimation. So yeah, and you flew like a distance too. Like you covered probably
I think
20 foot.
I might even have been more than that. It was. I would give a distance, not a bunch of height. But I think.
You cleared at least a car and a half, if not 2 full cars.
Well, here I know how to make the sound work.
No, we don't need the sound. That's not. Yeah, well, now it's not synced up to my video.
Now it's bottomed out twice. I didn't hear anything for your video, so I don't know.
That's
if
'cause
this is
It's on silent.
Yeah, but
Well, we got to hear the Corvette. That's half the fun.
that's fair. That's fair. It is a good sounding car still.
It is.
And it bottoming out twice.
I'm sorry, it bottomed out twice.
Well, yeah,
on the jump
bounce.
and when it landed.
Oh, yeah, per jump. Okay, got it. I was gonna say no. You jumped it more than twice.
No, he only jumped it once.
I only jumped it good once.
No,
There's
2 videos.
I've jumped.
That's different angles from different people.
That's the same video.
Yes.
Oh, you only jumped it once.
I definitely jumped it more than once because I had
Okay.
a pre-run. I had a pre-run before the decent-ish jump because I think I can do better. But
I would. I guess
I want
I
to
was-
crank up the
list.
suspension to get more in it before I do anything silly like that because it bottoms out too hard.
What did you?
I
do
didn't go back far enough.
Did you do
'cause right
anything
before
with your
the-
suspension?
What's up?
Did you even like turn the knobs on it?
So halfway through Saturday morning, I turned the compression way up, only for me because no one else was being that rude to the jumps.
Wait, you
Because I was bottom up the
stiffened
front
it
out
up?
really bad.
Okay.
So I turned the compression way down.
Wait,
if I had stiffer springs-
yeah, I would say, did you go harder? Did you go stiffer or softer?
Stiffer.
Okay.
So I did that for myself because I was hitting that pretty hard. And I got it off the ground where I don't know if all 4 wheels was off at least 6-ish times. Because even at nighttime, I got off the ground a couple times where I just felt
Just
hit that
just
lump
hitting
and
bumps.
just felt the whole fucking car do weird shit. And I don't know if it was just the rear off the ground or the front.
Well,
I only did 2 jump, like
did it
full blown
rev?
jump attempts. What's up?
Did it try to rev?
Yeah, it definitely revved.
So
But it
Yeah, a
the
little
rear
bit.
end kicked out and you could tell at least part of it wasn't on the ground. I don't know if the front left the ground also. But that was
oh, Dalton.
Like-
Dalton.
the first jump attempt. I know I got all 4 tires off the ground, or the first real jump attempt. But I went leading up to this jump is like a big horseshoe, and I only went halfway back around it. And it's after we got some decent ice slush on top or shaved ice on top. So first gear to get up to speed, it was spinning, and I couldn't get it decent. So I was spinning as I hit the jump and did weird stuff, but I got off the ground a little bit.
Were you still in first or were you in second?
Oh, I was in third. There's a lot of wheel speed.
Fair. I'll say, how fast do you think you were going? Do you have a speedo?
So I have a GPS speedo, and to get airborne's about to get one tire off the ground where it felt a little weird, it's 45 to 50.
Oh,
I'm thinking I hit 55, 60 in that video. I don't think I was going that terribly
God.
fast.
amazing.
That's pretty fast.
That is not slow for a little ice loop.
When I jumped a Cavalier once, not my Cavalier, mind you, but when I jumped a Cavalier,
Yep.
I can't believe you do that to a Cavalier.
well, I wasn't driving. Adam Thongman was driving. And do you remember the roost, Dalton?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the really bad driveway that was closer to the Prairie Queen Bakery? That was basically
for
not
sure.
usable.
You're
Even
talking in between the bakery and the museum?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, we ramped a Cavalier up that once at 30 miles an hour. And we got some pretty serious hang time. And apparently there was a cinder block in the back seat.
Oh, shit.
And no one got hurt.
Yeah.
But we probably should have been.
Yeah.
The car still ran fine. Don
So
Boss
I
actually
jumped-
bought it from Dustin Beacon after that we jumped it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So my
And then
dad's
sold it for a profit.
alleyway used to have like just the nicest dip that you could never, like, you can't drive a Corvette. I couldn't drive my Corvette Camaro up it or anything like that. But if you didn't give a fuck about a truck, I jumped my Avalanche there so many times. And the one time, just like, I always put in a 4-wheel drive coming down from the road before it. And just as soon as I pass the houses, look left or right, see if there's any cars there, and just fucking pinned it.
I know exactly
And-
what you're talking about.
And like, I thought I was getting like
Mad air.
5 foot of distance, 10 foot of distance. And like, you know, I held it to the floor till I landed. I came back once and it was like 30, 35 foot until like there's tire marks from the jump. I was like, holy fuck.
Didn't
I
you
also
jump
did that
the
with-
limo?
I did that with Slumlord 1.0 too. That's why I never buy a used vehicle from Dalton
Didn't
Klein.
you jump the limo?
Oh, that was at Ray's dirt bike track. I never got that fully airborne though. I high centered the fuck out of it, but
You don't say.
It was tacoed. He didn't have it anymore. He sold it to somebody because he tacoed it.
I did taco it, and the like middle bearing hanger was just
Yeah, because it's got like a 9-piece drive shaft
Like a Ford Edge.
and the
Is a
carrier.
Ford? Wait, a Ford Edge has a fucking carrier?
Yes.
How
And
unnecessary is that?
it's so unnecessary, and it's all like you can't just replace that. It's the whole thing has to be replaced. It's like $1,000.
That's awesome.
Fuck off.
That edge is
I think the cheapest one I was able to get was like in the 300 range for the whole thing.
I'm back.
but that's too cheap.
It wasn't our Edge, by the way. It was like
Oh, that's right. You worked on one.
I helped a coworker on one.
Yeah.
It was my coworker for her daughter, and so I did some work for them.
I remember that now.
But yeah, I mean that was. God, it's for such a short wheelbase car.
Right.
It doesn't need that many U joints, and they fail, and then you're fucked.
Is yours all-wheel drive?
No, it's front wheel drive.
So, okay.
Yeah, so
I think he went on a beer run.
yeah, he only had 4 so far.
Right. For tall boys.
He's probably
16
has to take a
ounces.
piss because. And now he's not here to defend himself.
We don't have a whole lot left. Now that we've
No,
jumped it,
he jumped it. And
we just need to
verify that it's.
conclude the con,
Yep.
and then I think we're pretty much done here.
Yeah, that's a podcast
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So,
But this debauchery
yes.
is brought to you
Yes.
by Factory Fabrication,
Yes.
Petrobox,
Yes.
and Apex Pro.
Absolutely.
So if you like having a free podcast,
Support one of them.
support one of them
Or more.
or
all 3 of them.
all 3 of them, or you could get a shirt from our store.
There you go.
That helps support us and keep this a free podcast.
There you go.
Because we believe in a free podcast.
And we don't want to hide it behind a paywall.
No, we hate that.
Yeah.
You know who else hates that? Apex Pro, Factory Fabrication, and Petrobox.
Well, not Apex Pro because they also sponsor shows that put their stuff behind paywalls.
Well, we wouldn't know about that because it's behind a paywall.
I would because I pay it.
But if you notice, I got a free shirt today
I saw that. I was pretty excited that you were able to get a replacement.
because E-Man put gum in it.
Yeah,
Definitely wasn't.
that's the
It
story.
definitely wasn't my
That's
fault.
definitely the story we're going with
Yep.
now.
So John's listened to the show, took pity on me,
Uh-huh.
and then sent me a free shirt.
What a guy.
So I have my Petrobox shirt on, so I can have a Petrobox shirt at least once, maybe twice a day per week. That's all I wear now is Petrobox shirts if I'm not at work.
Pretty close to it for me, yeah. I'm not far off of that.
And it's that time of the month where I'm about to get another one.
Yeah.
Not the shirt necessarily, but a box.
There you go.
And if you don't have a box showing up, use the code TTP15.
It's about that time of the month for you to get a box, Robbie.
Yeah, I get one once a month.
I know what it's like to be married.
That's why I'm not getting married.
So did you go on a beer run or did you have to piss?
Both.
Oh, I got spare beers. I had to take a piss. Tall boys and Chiefs don't.
We were
do it, guy.
debating.
All right. So you jumped the vet, allegedly didn't break anything.
So far, we haven't found
Only
anything.
Ryan broke things. I'm gonna keep that.
I'm still not convinced you didn't break something.
It was. Did you see how smooth that landing was? Corvettes
Jabay
were
told
messed up.
you before you bring it back to a grid life, you make sure you go over it with a fine tooth comb. That's all I'm saying.
No,
the next
that's
grid
you
life.
guys telling Jabay.
No,
to fucking-
Jabay said that.
The next grid
I
life
didn't
tech.
read
He
it.
said,
inspection-
Dalton, I fucking love you, and I'm so proud of you to do that. But before you bring it to my event, make sure it's not broken.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I'll do that. But where else am I going to? I can't break the law and speed on the street. I had to do it on the track. So there's no way to know for sure.
Well, I'm saying, like, just make sure you didn't Ferris it and crack your frame.
Yep.
Oh, there's not going to be.
Ferris has never left the ground and his had cracks in it.
That we know of.
Yeah, Ferris also impact or the force on his car just driving 140 miles an hour is more force than my car is jumping it. Yes.
No way.
Oh, I'm actually Team Dalton here. At 180 miles an hour, that car makes more downforce.
Which is a constant force, not an impact.
I suppose.
Impact.
Yeah, because you're going to have a
impact
spike.
Is
You're
a
right.
spike.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
where
but
you
you
break
know-
shit.
Yeah, but did you see that video of him going down the back straight of Coda last year?
Well, you mean like, bouncing
Where it was
off
oscillating?
yeah.
That was
Yeah,
pretty
that's
rough.
probably more
That
force.
was also nowhere near the impact of jumping a 2,800 pound car.
2,800. Well, with me in it, it's more than that. Okay, back.
Impact. Much
He's only
higher.
dropping it a foot.
We are
That's
established
1
as
foot
more
drop.
than we
You
established
just
as
need
more.
more.
than a foot.
You need more droop. That's your problem.
Yeah, I know.
Like
Corvette
the
track
Trackable
enthusiasts.
Corvettes website or Facebook group told you. It was
that
funny
video
because
has like
so
11,000 views now. It's like 10.8 or whatever. But
Johnny C posted the picture of him jumping it on the Trackable Corvettes page.
Yep.
Group.
Yep.
I should say, which I'm a member of because there's a bunch of crazy Corvettes in, and I just like to look at crazy time attack builds because I'm a nerd.
You don't have to explain it.
Well, Dalton was like, "What the fuck are you in here for?" So yeah, I do have to explain it. Apparently,
Well, you don't have to.
Yep.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
I don't kink shame.
I appreciate
whatever
that.
you're into.
yeah, that's your kink. Whatever gets you off.
But he put and like half of the comments are like, "Dude, that's fucking sweet," and stuff like that, and the other half were like, "Bro, you need to look at your droop travel." And
There's like people.
I
Like,
love it. I love
he
it.
hasn't
that-
been in the. He hasn't been in the air that long. He doesn't have time to droop yet. There's
Yeah,
you
I
look
love
at your
that.
droop
Like,
and like
There
I love that there were a
Actually,
bunch of
lower.
people that are like, "Bro, this is wrong with you. Something's wrong with your car. You should probably fix it." Like, not what the fuck are you doing? Why did you launch that car on the ice? Like, hey man,
that
your suspension isn't working as good as it should. You should fix that.
literally.
Oh, thanks for the help.
And they're right.
Literally, not one bad comment in Track Midwest. It's the only place that was like, what the fuck. There's at least one of that pretty much anywhere else.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect any constructive criticism out of the deal.
He did.
Hey, bro,
post
send
it
me
on-
some pics of your suspension setup. I'll help you out. What?
That's amazing.
He did post it on the Iowa Corvette owners group, which
that's right.
which is a bunch of boomers, and there was only one comment, but it was negative.
You don't say.
Yeah.
There's a couple more.
What did
that
he?
would-
He said something. I mean, it was. He was like, "Oh no!" It was. It was super funny.
He's probably still like up at night thinking about it.
Yeah,
too.
just appalled.
Yep. Just truly offended.
This is what Corvette Track Enthusiasts or Club of Iowa posts. There's like this. I can't, video.
Yeah, it's
You can't even
it's
see
too
it, but there's
bright.
a Corvette parked in the cart return so no one else can get close to his car. Like, this is the type of fucking boomers we're dealing with here.
Yeah, it's the car show people.
He says, "Oh no, oh HHH, bunch of dots. No, no, no. Why in the world would anyone jump a Corvette? Dash on ice! Exclamation point! Question mark. Just wrong."
You offended him
One
to
person that
his
said, "Please link
core.
video." Yeah.
So
And then one person talking about, I think it's his wife C4. He's like, and he linked her and they're like, that looks really fun. So I had a couple decent from there. That looked really fun. I should do that with my C4, and then like tagged his wife, but I don't think she'd let me. And then she's, what do you mean you're C4? And just bitching him out.
Old married couples.
Yeah.
So
I do mildly want to make like a more dedicated ice racer now. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, it looked like a good time if you could get past the cold.
Yeah, it wasn't that cold. Just
well,
like,
if you
get
have
something with
a
heat.
dedicated car that still has a heater in it.
Yeah, heater core would have done wonders.
That would have been nice.
And windshield wipers.
Windshield wipers and a defrost.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so you supposedly have looked at it. It's been on the lift. You claim it's not bent or broken.
I have my replaced frame rail completely exposed.
right, because one of them has already been replaced.
Yes,
because
it's been
a
salvaged
double
before.
salvage.
Yes.
Yeah.
That poor car has lived such a rough life.
You should probably show up early to your next Grid Life event.
What color
Yeah,
was it originally?
I think it was yellow.
Oh, you ruined it by painting it orange?
I didn't ruin it. It
yellow?
was completely flat black when I got it.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
remember that. That's funny.
So I will not. You can't show up early to Grid Life. I tried to, and they said you have to wait, sir.
No, I'm saying you're going to need the extra time at Tech.
No,
because
they already hate me at Tech anyways.
Yeah, you'll be there a while.
Jabez got, hey, that orange Corvette, look it over close.
That's fine. I'll drop it off. You guys can look.
Yep.
Thanks. Someone has to.
Jake Abbott's going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb.
That's fine. He can do it. Let me know what's wrong with it. Maybe I'll actually fix it. So I'm not going to inspect it.
All right, so we went ice race. Well, we went ice driving.
We went ice driving.
Ice driving.
It's drag racing.
Drag racing, which is racing.
Yeah, we'll count it. Per the
So,
undisclosed or
right, because we didn't clarify enough of the rules of the bet. So
I bet.
So when you posted the
he's a
video
bitch.
of you driving away from Tom, what was E-Man's response?
So I posted the group chat. Email's like, "Oh, you're late. Look I have a timestamp that he sent to Robbie, I think, because Robbie is a traitor."
No, so
No, actually, Robbie didn't know.
I was a pawn in all of this. So E-Man,
Oh, were you not part of that?
Not
I thought
at
that was
all.
a message to you earlier.
It was. I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention. I thought he'd had the Datsun done for, let's just say, weeks, maybe months. But that he had made the bet knowing that he had the car done and had a test and tune track day lined up before you could make it to Ice Battle. So my assumption was that he had made it, that car's done. He had made it on track and messaged me before you made it to Wisconsin as a timestamp proof that I knew about it to confirm that he had done it before you.
Which, honestly, the whole only reason I bet in the first place, was so he'd actually touch that pile of shit Datsun.
Yeah, I understand the motivation. I get it.
I'll get a tattoo.
That's funny.
The only car he has that's worth a fuck might see any sort of action.
So, but now the video he sent, there's clearly green on the trees, and then the picture.
So we'll start with this, and he sent that, and we lived with it because it was like 10 at night. We just loaded up the Corvette. We went to bed. And then we went
I hadn't even. I watched it. I spent more time appalled at his terrible driving than I was looking at the background, realizing this clearly didn't happen in the winter.
So we, went to bed. Went to do more ice race in the morning. Went to the Grid Life Ice Battle, which was more of a circle track battle. Rally battle, I don't know.
Rallycross.
Yeah.
It was a rallycross.
Whatever, and wasn't really paying attention. Then, I think Saturday night we started giving him a little bit of shit about, your proof isn't that great. Something's up.
Yeah, you started poking holes in it, and then realized the trees were not.
That was Sunday, and I was done with it because Jabez even what the fuck is going on here? This is annoying.
That's literally what he does. He'll pop into that group and be like, I don't know what's happening. I can't keep up with this. And then he'll disappear again for fucking 12 hours.
Well, I'm assuming if you weren't in that chat for an hour on Sunday at 10 a.m., there would be 200 misread messages.
Yeah. It's a mess.
But it was just the drive home, and I was like, where'd you go? What's this? What's that? And then all of a sudden Ryan's like, those trees are pretty fucking green. He's driving Slumlord, and I'm just like, yeah, what the fuck? So I looked at weather maps of Cincinnati or Columbus. Fucking Christ. Yeah, I don't even know where he went at this point because he was very vague on purpose.
Yeah. And every time that Dalton would bring up a semi-valid point,
Yes,
he would change the subject really
Try to.
quickly. He was talking about LS swapping stuff
Yeah.
and just like completely trying to derail the
I
conversation.
never even questioned it. I just assume it was the long con, and he'd had this planned out forever, and
Right.
that he knew he would get on track first,
Right.
and that it was a sucker bet.
Right.
I never assumed that he was just going to bullshit it.
Right.
But we also want to say on Friday night, we also had a shit show of a bitch fest because of if autocross is on the track and this or that. And then we finally agreed that we both get tattoos, which...
Yeah, I called you both losers and said you both have to get a tattoo.
For the record, I changed my vote.
Did you?
Yeah, when I found out that E-Man lied, I just changed my vote to just E-Man.
No, I want Dalton to have a tattoo too.
I mean, fine, whatever, but like, I feel like if Dalton said, no, fuck this, I'm not doing it,
Yeah,
he's got a leg to stand on.
Yeah, if the Datsun doesn't run, my vote changes too.
By when?
Now.
I'll get a 10 tenths tattoo if you get an Iowaman tattoo.
Well, because Dalton kept just like, dude, just send us a video.
Yeah,
like,
of it
call
running.
call us right now.
And show us
video
it running.
call us and show us the car even just idling.
Yep.
And he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
He just changed the subject.
Voting has changed. I was duped
I don't think
as
that
well.
car runs.
I don't think it does either.
He claims it just needs a fuel cell.
We
The
have
fuel isn't.
been duped.
Yeah.
Up to safety standards. Yeah, he duped you. You got scammed.
You got double duped because he sent you a private messages as part of his.
Because he knew that I thought he was playing the long con.
Right.
And I'm
I
with
kind
Dusty.
of-
Dusty
Or maybe
brought this up.
he knew that I knew that was an old video, or that he knew. Or, sorry, he thought that I knew it was an old video and was just playing along. But I clearly did not. I thought that was like, oh yeah, you took that last weekend.
Well, I was pretty sure that that the car was running, but I didn't think he had a place to take it.
Right.
But I was pretty sure that the car had been running for a while, that it was done. It just needed an event.
Yes.
Because
I assumed that when he made the bet, I assumed that he had it all lined up already.
Yeah, I don't know that
didn't
he was
believe
that
that.
close to it, but
But if any of you guys need Apex Pro, they're good on track and good for fidgeting.
it's true. I'm sitting here playing with this one the whole time. It's true.
Last 10 minutes. You can waste 10 minutes of your life fidgeting with
Are the batteries
Apex
still
Pro.
good on these? Goddamn right they are.
Oh God, it's so bright.
You can adjust that with the app, which is
Sure.
free, by the way,
Yeah.
on Android and Apple.
You should look at the app for free before you buy one, and you will enjoy it.
Yes. Unless you're E-Man and put it upside down, it doesn't work right because he doesn't know how to install things.
Well, that's
He
how you
doesn't know
gave
how
it
to-
to me.
But this
And he's a
game-
liar and a cheat, and he should get a tramp stamp Iowaman tattoo.
Yep.
I think that's the fair punishment.
You know
for
what we
being a
should
liar.
you know what we should do? We'll give him a chance to do a rebuttal on the show, and then we'll let the consortium decide.
I want him to have a tattoo that says "Iowa is where my heart is"
I would pay for that.
inside of the Iowa silhouette.
I'll help pay for that. Yes, I'm in.
You should
So-
get an Iowaman racing tattoo though. First.
Iowa Man Racing is pretty funny too.
Yep.
But it can't just be Iowa. It needs to be one of the
It
two
can't be
logos.
as half-assed as like your 10 tenths.
It needs to be one of the
tattoo that
two
he got at you?
logos. It either needs to be my personal favorite's the DeKalb logo because I think that's way fucking funnier.
That's good.
Which I won't make you get a tramp stamp if you actually send me a quote for fucking shirts, E-Man.
But
Maybe we should get a hold of John.
yeah,
John won't let me down like that.
No,
he would
He
never
never
do
has.
such a
John
thing.
sent me this shirt, and then 2 stacks of 10 Tenths podcast stickers.
John would have been an unbiased commissioner.
Oh, for
He's too
sure.
close to you, man.
No, I would trust him.
That's fair.
I still think I trust him.
He's a fine, upstanding young man.
He's
He's way less degenerate than the rest of us.
Yeah, that's true.
He probably is the least degenerate. Even E-Man, or Jabay has some degenerate in him.
Well, I mean,
He keeps-
have you
he-
been to a grid life?
Yeah, he keeps it on the down low.
He got in the hot tub.
That says a lot, actually.
That's because he pinky promised.
But he did.
Which I don't think that actually happened.
I don't know if it did
There's
either.
no way it did.
I'm fairly certain it never happened. So
All right. I think this is a podcast.
I think we're done. Here.
No.
No, I
Are
need
you
to.
guys, are
Huh?
you guys coming next weekend or what? Or am I just going?
I'm up. It's up to if E-Man comes here. I'll try to drag him there. But yeah, I plan on being there.
If you get E-Man to Des Moines, you know he'll show up to Sheldon.
Still another 3 hours.
Almost 4.
Yeah, it's a rough transit.
I got a spare house for you guys. Don't worry about it.
My parents live like 15 minutes from there, and it's
You're going to turn down.
yes.
You don't want to live. You don't want to be in the house. I had an ozone generator to the house.
do it for the
Get the fucking
content.
stank out.
No. I'll leave E-Man and Sarah there.
Sarah's not coming.
Yeah, she is.
Not if we're going to his house.
We are not going to Sheldon. Wink.
Because I assume if Sarah comes, then Wyatt comes.
Yes.
And then Wyatt is not going to his house.
We can drop him at my parents' place.
That's awful nice of you to volunteer them for that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Will
right?
they take care of mine
That's good
while
for
they're
them.
at it? Because that's the issue.
No, not
for
Wyatt.
Me going.
Sarah and Wyatt.
Oh. Okay. I thought you were volunteering your mom and dad to
No, I was
babysit somebody else's child. That's
No, I was
not
volunteering
yours.
Sarah to not have to go to this.
Oh, okay. Not have to?
Yeah.
You mean not get to? This is the privilege of a lifetime.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's it.
Dude, it's going to
It
be
is
so
privilege
much.
of a lifetime.
I'm like genuinely upset. I'm probably not going to get to go.
Oh, now with that attitude, let's see.
I don't have childcare, and I'm not bringing my child to your party of debauchery.
There's other kids.
I mean, I would take
people that watch
Logan, but
kids.
not my daughter.
Yeah.
She's too young.
Especially if it's going to be a loud concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible. I'm scared about. I think I'm going to have to turn it down a little bit, but we do have sound deadening curtains we're going to put up on the wall.
Dude, it's
here
going
for
to
the
echo
people that pay for
so
it.
bad.
Nah, because that whole thing's spray foamed. Insulation.
It's still going to echo off the walls.
and he's
like
got a
Dude,
ceiling. It's not going to be too bad. If he had
It
an
has
open, if he had an open ceiling, it would be rough.
Agreed.
But he's got a
But
ceiling.
he's got metal walls.
No, I don't.
He
It's
doesn't.
OSB walls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then spray foam insulation behind that.
Okay.
Well,
It's still going to echo.
2/3 of it's concrete. It's
Oh, that's
light
right.
form.
Light form. It's made. It's
We'll
it's
find out.
styrofoam encased concrete.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
We'll find out.
February 25th. See you guys there. Iowaman Racing. Google it. On the Google machine.
It starts whenever people
Everyone's
show
welcome.
up. So,
Unless you're not.
yeah. All right.
You'll find out when you get there.
No, I'm just
Yeah, we'll catch
just
it.
for the fun of it. I'm going to Google Iowaman Racing again.
It's still there.
He doesn't open until 7 p.m. on Friday, though.
That's about the time the party starts on Saturday. For Saturday.
I don't. It's not open on Saturday. I might have to change.
No.
my hours
What
for
I'm
next week.
saying is that the party for Saturday night starts at 7 p.m. on Friday.
I visited 7
Oh.
months ago.
Oh yeah, we could probably do that.
Yeah, I was going to say your Saturday night party starts Friday night.
It's only open from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Fridays.
That's pretty accurate.
It's pretty good.
All right, we'll catch everybody next week.